3 points closer to Champions League football. Goals from Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli made it 4 wins on the bounce for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. But who were our key players? What tactics did Mikel Arteta deploy? And where does this leave us in the race for the Champions League? We'll smash a like if you enjoy the content and subscribe if you are new. And here are the 5 things that we learnt from Watford 2, Arsenal 3. First things first, is Martin Odegaard the key? When Arsenal signed Martin Odegaard for a fee of £30 million in the summer, a lot of fans were actually very sceptical for weird reasons because they were saying we want James Maddison. I was one of those fans as well, and I always said that Martin Odegaard was a player that I'd love to have back at Arsenal Football Club, and when I saw the price tag, I shouted it there and there with my chest that this was going to be a bargain. And watching this guy excel in an Arsenal shirt in the past few months, it has once again reassured me that we have a bargain. Thank you very much, Real Madrid. He once again ran the show today, and here are his stats. And 91% passing accuracy, 88 touches, 31 passes in the final third, the most on the pitch, 9 ball recoveries, 5 duels won, 4 chances created, 4 tackles the most, 2 touches in the opposition box, 1 shot and 1 goal as well. A very good overall performance once again, but talk to me about that goal. Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard combination play bringing tears to my eyes, but the finish itself on his stronger left foot into the bottom left hand corner around the defender. Keeper had no chances, and that's I believe 5 goals for Martin Odegaard this season. What was clear to see once again today was Odegaard dictating the final third. Every single attack goes through Martin Odegaard. He is the linchpin, he's the key. Whereas when you have Martin Odegaard in the team, there's a reason why Mikel Arteta is such a massive fan and why there are shouts of him becoming the Arsenal captain. Not only is he great in the final third, very incisive, but also in the defensive phase. If you watch him very closely, he's always commanding the players around him, saying go left, go right, and telling the players where to be. When you have a player like Martin Odegaard, he allows the other players to excel. But it's not just the final third impact from Martin Odegaard, because if you watch him very closely, he also plays a massive part in the build-up phase, dropping off deeper in that midfield three in the build-up phase, picking the ball up and finding incisive passes forwards. Odegaard most certainly is the key for his Arsenal team to operate. But be sure to let me know your own thoughts on the Norwegian excellence down below in the comments, and for a price tag of £30 million, once again, a shout out to Real Madrid. Moving on to the second thing, and that's Bukayo Saka leveling up. That's our star boy, that's our number 7, and this is a guy that won the Player of the Year last year, but a lot of fans were still wanting more. They wanted goals, they wanted assists. It looks like Bukayo saw everything we were saying and he took it MJ style personally. Starting off with his in-game stats, 67 touches, 25 passes in the final third, 6 crosses, 4 touches in the opposition box, 4 duels won, 3 ball recoveries, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 chances created, 1 shot, 1 goal and 1 assist. And with that performance, he was given the official Sky Man of the Match award. What we've seen from Bukayo this year, the evolution where he's leveled up, is his arrogance. He knows that he's that guy. Whenever he gets the ball, the touches, the flicks, the skills, I legitimately felt sorry for the Watford left back today. But most importantly, putting the ball into the back of the net, getting the assist, and overall in his last 10 appearances, that's now 6 goals and 3 assists for Bukayo Saka. Meaning that overall he has a combined 13 goals and assists so far this year, and in terms of players at the age of 21 or younger, he's the highest player above Arsenal's very own Emil Smith-Rowe. And it's not just in the Premier League but also in Europe as well, the 4th best player behind Florian Wirtz, Vinicius Jr and Erling Haaland. As Roy Keane said, this kid is a special talent of Arsenal Football Club, a player that has come through our academy. He's Arsenal through and through, he's under a long-term contract, hopefully to be longer term, and now he's adding ruthless finishing to his game as well. Make no mistake, Saka has all the potential to become a very complete winger, especially under Mikel Arteta, who's clearly improved him massively. Let's not forget that this is a guy that at the start of Arteta's career was seen as a backup left-back prospect, and now he's a starting right winger for Arsenal Football Club, excelling within the Premier League and also starting for his country at the Euro semi-final. Mikel Arteta on Saka says what he is doing is phenomenal. Football is his priority in life, and you can see that every day in training. He needs to continue to behave and live the way he's doing. And as Cesc Fabregas said during the game, Saka and Odegaard are the present and future of Arsenal, 2 big talents. That combination between these two in that first half was ridiculous at times. It brought back memories of Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, the ones whose it was bringing tears to my eyes. It was beautiful to see, and they were both the standout Arsenal players. So my question to you guys to answer down below in the comments is, who was your Arsenal man of the match? On to the third thing, and that is Mikel Arteta's 4-3-3 works once again. Tactically this game, we once again saw Mikel Arteta go for that 4-3-3, the midfield three of Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard, and Xhaka making the third man man runs into that final third, getting into the box, and that is actually very important because even though he doesn't have much impact on the ball, having that extra man in that final third causes more issues for the opposition teams, and it means they have to space out a lot more, opening up more space for the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard to thrive where they are best. And ultimately with Arsenal getting the 3 points, the 4-3-3 worked once again, but as Mikel Arteta points out after the game, it was far from a perfect game. As Arteta says, I'm really happy we won, but it's not going to be enough. We have to show the capacity to control the game. At 3-1, we have to make 300,000 passes in the opponent's half, and when they have the right moment to come at us, we can attack them, but we didn't do that. This was a game where Arsenal were far from the best, and in terms of controlling the game as well, while Xhaka and Partey were pretty decent, I think in terms of the defensive phase and sustaining that pressure, unlike the home games where Ben White and Gabriel were very aggressive, in this game they were pretty open, and that's why Arsenal couldn't sustain the pressure and keep the ball in that final third. As the scoreline suggests, it wasn't smooth sailings, but the fact that I can sit here and admit that Arsenal were far from the best, yet we still scored 3 goals and got the 3 points, I think it shows progress on behalf of this young team, and it's very important that we keep into account how young this team is and the fact that away from home they lack the experience, the control games that Man City and Liverpool can. As Mikel Arteta points out, this guy is a perfectionist and he wants the perfect game home and away, but when you're in a fight for the top 4 and you're still young and progressing as a team, sometimes 3 points is all that matters, and that's what we got today. But do let me know your own thoughts on Mikel Arteta's tactics down below in the comments. Moving on to the 4th thing, and that's Alexandre Lacazette's underrated role. He quite often is criticised by a large majority of his Arsenal fan base, sometimes including your boy, because he isn't the most consistent of goal scorers. But that does not mean Lacazette isn't contributing, as once again in this game he had 2 assists. But on that, Mikel Arteta says he will not be happy in that dressing room because he wants to score, but a lot of the things that he does for the team are phenomenal. Even though he isn't an out-and-out goal scorer, Lacazette is most certainly a team player, and the assist record really shows that, because that now means in his last 9 Premier League appearances, Alexandre Lacazette has 8 assists and 1 goal. That's 9 goals and assists in his last 9 appearances, and 8 assists as well. I mean, that's prime Mesut Ozil numbers. And this is where he is a difference to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is far more of an outlet type of player who wants to run in behind and score the goal, make the final action. Lacazette is far more of a team player. He'll drop off deeper and then allow the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka to score more goals and allow them to be the outlets instead. But 2 assists today and 8 in his last 9 league appearances, I think that's very underrated. If he can start scoring goals on top of that, then maybe, just maybe, he might be the answer. And my friends, let me know your own thoughts on Mr. Lacazette down below in the comments. Moving on to the 5th and final thing, and that was one of those wins. I think we have already established that this was far from Arsenal's scintillating best, and we could have been far better. In the defensive phase, I think we were very sloppy. I think Ben White and Gabriel were decent in some aspects, but in the second half, very poor in the marking. Ramsdale's kicking wasn't the best either. The midfield kind of had the in and out moments, and even though we did score 3 goals, I think in that final third we can be far more decisive and score even more goals and make even bigger chances. But despite that performance, that's now 4 Premier League wins in a row for Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta says after the game, we were really good going forwards and we scored 3 magnificent goals, but we didn't have the same energy and commitment defensively. And when that happens away from home, you are going to suffer, and that's why we suffered today. I am actually a massive fan of the fact that despite of the 3 points and many fans being very happy, Mikel Arteta isn't glossing over the fact that Arsenal still have quite a few obvious imperfections, especially away from home where we can be far more dominant and control the games better as well. But most importantly, Arsenal did their job, got the 3 points, and in comparison to our top 4 rivals, you look at Man United, who made more chances against Watford, but they couldn't get the 3 points, whereas Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 15 games against teams in the bottom 2. We were far from being at our vintage best, but what we keep on doing, the likes of Tottenham and Man United can't do, is beating the teams that we should be beating, whether that's Watford, Wolves or Brentford. That is where Arsenal are very consistent, and that is actually very important in the race for the Champions League places. But talking about the Champions League, it has once again been a massive few days. First things first, yesterday you had Liverpool beat West Ham 1-0, and then today after the Arsenal game you had Man City pummel Man United 4-1, ruining their goal difference and also taking all 3 points. And this is how it leaves the table. Arsenal move into 4th place on 48 points, 6 points above 7th place Spurs, 3 points above 6th place West Ham, and 1 point above 5th place Man United with 3 games in hand. Now obviously you want to keep yourself in check, but we were also actually just 5 points behind 3rd place Chelsea, and we do have a game in hand as well. Now I hate being games in hand FC, but Arsenal right now are in pole position. The top 4 race is most certainly within our control, and even though the games in hand are going to be very difficult, if Arsenal can get a win or 2 there, we can potentially open up a 6 to 9 point gap to 5th and 6th place. By no stretch it has been a gargantuan few weeks for Arsenal, winning our games, being consistent, with Man United, West Ham and Tottenham all dropping points. 4 in March, 13 games left to play, and yes, they're going to be difficult, but Arsenal are in control of the destiny, and whisper it quietly, but I can hear the Champions League anthem ringing somewhere in the distance distance in the background. But as always, my friends, let me know your own thoughts down below on the performance first things first, but also in terms of the Champions League race. Arsenal in 4th place, 3 games in hand and a point clear. Do you think Arsenal have what it takes to get over the line and make the return to the UEFA Champions League football? Are you starting to believe? But that is the video over there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also to subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the 5 things that we learned from Watford 2, Arsenal 3. It was a massive win, not the best of performances, but 3 fantastic goals, some Wenger-esque football, and 3 points in the bag, 3 points closer to Champions League football. Anyways guys, I'll see you next time. Take care, and in a bit.